fact, I just went through that crazy election. I went to both conventions, and I don't think I've ever seen such an insane political year, because Donald Trump is the president, and I think people are not understanding how much money you're going to save under the Trump administration, because he'll be the first commander-in-chief that can not only send soldiers into the battle zone, but he can stand at the end of a runway and be the windsock for the Apaches. Very exciting. I read the weirdest stories. You know, every day I do nothing but prep. I read weird stories, and the one that just won't go away, the one I just can't get out of my head, there was a guy, the story was a guy in Japan who died, and he was crushed under 6 tons of porn. Yeah, 6 tons of pornographic magazines is what crushed him. But what really made me laugh was the fact it took him 6 months to find him. I mean, I can just see the first responders right now. All right, we got to find that guy. Look at the hoots on her. Hey, you got to see this. Oh, boy, what are we doing in here? Well, we're looking for that missing guy. Okay, hang on. Ooh, wow, look at her. Then the story came out that he didn't actually die buried by his porn. He died on top of it. It was just almost like, I just can't make up my mind. Boom! Passed out on all of his porn. So, anyway, that's the goofy, crazy world that I get to live in now. It's very nice to be here. By the way, St. Patrick's Day, the only holiday I know of that you are judged on how good a holiday you had by how many times you threw up. So everybody at the station today was, oh man, I'm going out tonight. I bet you I'll throw up twice at least. Oh, that's nothing. I'll throw up 3 times. I'm not much of a drinker. I used to be in the bar business. Actually, I was a bouncer, and I'm sure that when I first walked up here, you thought he is very intimidating. There's no doubt about that. St. Patrick's Day was never a big deal when you're a bouncer. It's not that big a deal. The worst night ever working in a bar is actually Halloween, right? Because no one is who they really are, right? Everyone is somebody else, right? And I remember one night they came over, they go, look, dude, there's a guy in the champagne room. He's causing a bunch of trouble. You got to get him out of here. So I walk up there, and the guy's wearing a Batman suit. So I'm a good-natured guy. I just went over and said, excuse me there, Cape Crusader. We've got some complaints. We're going to have to ask you to take it back to the old Bat Cave. The next thing I know, boom, he punched me right in the face. So I get up, and I square up with this guy, and all of a sudden I realize I'm fighting Batman. Right? And I don't know whether to just fight him or watch out for one of the Super Friends to jump me from behind. And then, of course, the rest of the people in the bar weren't helping because they're just yelling out stuff like, pow, zap, boffo. Crazy. So, thank you. This is so exciting. I haven't been on stage in 4 years. 4 years since I've been on the stand-up stage. It's so awesome. I really don't have an act. So that's okay. I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm married, and I love being married. Being married is the greatest thing in the whole world. You know, I always hear these guys complaining about their wives, you know, and I'm always thinking, well, you know, maybe she wouldn't be ragging you so much if maybe you'd go home. While you're there, pick up your underwear. I do love my wife. She is gorgeous. My wife is actually younger than I am. She's 18 years younger than me, which is perfect because intellectually we match up. I mean, it's like a level playing field anytime we talk. It's so awesome. She's smart, she's funny, she's a great mom to our kids, and she's kind of wild in the bedroom too. I like that. She likes to talk, you know, in the bedroom. we'll be in there and she'll say stuff like, are you okay? Why is your face so red? You need your inhaler. She is so awesome. Married guys, you know this, right? Where would we be without our wives, right? Where would we be without our wives? I mean, if you really want to know how stupid somebody can think you are, get married. Right? It's like we're so dumb, we just be walking down the street and just stick our head in a wood chipper or something. Like, that's wood chipper, what's going on? I love that. Women, always, you know what's good about wives, they always are very good at confirming what you already know. Always very important. You know, like you're driving down the road, brrr, turn left here, I know, we live on the street. Garbage goes out on Tuesday. I know, garbage goes out every Tuesday. You know, then you make one mistake, now you're the idiot savant, right? You know, like, big deal, I left the front door unlocked. We were going to get a new TV anyway. You're right. She is very special. We have 3 kids, and some guy asked me, he said, Chris, my wife and I are thinking about having kids. What's the best part about having kids? And I said, when they get big enough to go fetch stuff. You know, go give me a beer. Give me the remote. No, give me the remote. Give me the remote! My kids are great. I like to goof around with them. We like to do sports stuff. Like the other day, we're out in the backyard. I know it's out of season. We're playing football. And I mean, that was really a cool moment. I'm out there with my kids. We're playing football. I start getting all sentimental. I'm thinking, oh, what a beautiful moment. Because, I mean, I hadn't played that good in years. And they could not stop me. It was beautiful. Whew. Wow, this is about where I would come up with a big closer. So what else is going on? By the way, I didn't know this, you know, as a political observer, but periodically people will sneak cultural changes in on you. Like all of a sudden one day I woke up and they said that boys could turn into girls. Well, what the hell? Were you kidding me? And the next thing you know, you hear, Bruce Jenner is now a woman. What? Bruce Jenner's a woman? And then Bruce Jenner wins Woman of the Year. I'm thinking, can a woman get a break? I mean, my goodness gracious, all these wonderful women in the world, and they give Woman of the Year to the guy with a set of tits. What is up with that? Then we find out that he's now thinking about changing his mind and going back to the guy thing, which I thought, that's the first womanly thing that guy's ever done. He's changing his mind. I guess that's got to be a real conflict. We talk about it on the show a lot, and it always gets me when people call in because they always want to find that hair splitting area. You know, they want to split a hair here or there. So a guy, you know, well, what do you mean a boy can't turn into a girl? What about a hermaphrodite? What about a hermaphrodite? Right? And you know what that is, right? Hermaphrodite, that's like a part man, part woman thing, right? Which that's got to be a struggle, you know? Because, I mean, imagine you're half man, half woman. That's got to be confusing. You know, it's like you want to go shopping, but after the game. Then, of course, you get lost on the way there and refuse to ask for directions. You're just driving to the mall bitching at yourself the whole time. You don't even know where you're going. What are you doing? Shut up and leave me alone. I'll find it myself. No, you'll find it all right. It'll be very confusing. We pray for them. Okay, good. Anyway, all right. I got some great friends coming up here for you, some very good comedians. Let me get my cheat sheet here. All right, buddy. Right here. All right. First gentleman that you're going to see comes up. He's from right here in the great state of Nebraska. He's a very, very talented, very, very funny guy. And I want you to bring it up. He's been on Comedy Central, Workaholics, and America's Got Talent. Give a big round of applause and welcome Austin Anderson.